Welcome to my YouTube channel, Code JavaScript. In this channel, we are going to practice JavaScript. Before starting my video, I request you people to do subscribe my YouTube channel for latest videos of JavaScript. Throughout the channel, we will cover all the basic and the tactics that will be used in covering the concepts of JavaScript. So, the first thing you must need for JavaScript, if you are a newbie or if you are a beginner, so you must have an editor for JavaScript. What does the editor mean? Basically, in programming, where we use compilers, so in the same way we will use editor. And I will personally recommend that you must use my Microsoft Visual Studio Code for that purpose. And you can Google it by writing the download Visual Studio Code, and the first link will appear, and you must click the link, and you must and after that you will download it for Windows. You can download it for Linux, you can download it for Mac. It's on you. My system is Windows, and I will recommend the 64-bit, so I will download the user installer or zip for 64-bit. So I've already downloaded this one, and only thing that I have to first create the new folder on it named as JavaScript. So I have created the folder named as JavaScript. Okay, so now I will open Visual Studio Code. After opening Visual Studio Code, I will open the folder of mine that I have just created. So I will open the folder of JavaScript. This one I have created a few seconds ago. I will select folder, and now it's been open, and I will create a file named as practice, and it will be HTML file, and I will create it. So it's been created, and after creating I will press shift +1, and the intelligence of the Microsoft Visual Studio Code is detected that I am using a shortcut key, and I have opened it. And parallel we can open this one, practice.html, and we can open with the Internet Explorer. So as you can see that it has been opened. So on the title page we can write is in JavaScript. We can give it the title as JavaScript. Okay, so and now we can refresh it. Okay, we have refreshed it. So now how does it work? The main point is, and all you need is to put the script tag. The tag name is script, and all the JavaScript will be defined under the script section. Okay, do you got it? In this script section we can write all the JavaScript that's been used throughout the HTML page. So to check that it's been implemented or not, we can write alert. We can pass an alert of hello world. Whenever the page is open, it must show us the JavaScript. An alert and a pop-up will show of hello world. So it means that JavaScript has been implemented on our page. So there are two concepts. The number one concepts of JavaScript is that in JavaScript, let's suppose we have input type is equal to text, and its ID is name, and placeholder, and we can write a placeholder, and placeholder we can write enter your name. Okay, that's good to go. And in ID we have written the name, and below this one we can write heading, and in the heading we can write that in hello world. So after writing the heading, we have to consider the two things. So there are two concepts. The first one is value, and the second one is inner HTML. So if you want to take the value of any, if you want to manipulate any kind of changes on a value of any certain thing, that might be a number, that might be a text box, that might be a check form, that might be a radio button, that might be a register button, on submit, on click. So we have to choose, we have to go with dot value. So here if you want to implement it, so we can write a document dot get element by IDs. So as I have mentioned before, that for text boxes, radio boxes, or any other data that is entered by the user, we will use get element by ID. So the ID, we want to take the name from this text box. Okay, first we have to refresh it. If I refresh it, you can see a text box. So I want the value of this one, so I will go with document.get element by ID, and I have to write the ID name. So my ID name is name. Okay, so it will take the value, all the value that has been written inside it. If I write if I write John in it, so the John is taken by this one, but it is not stored yet. So in JavaScript, we have to declare and initialize the variable. So for that purpose, we have to let. For declaring and initializing the variable, we have to use the reserved word let. Let a is equal to, a is a variable name, and a has taken all the things that has been written here. Okay, so this was the concept of value. So if we want hello world, what if we want hello world? So we can go with declaring the let be a variable, and we will write, in this case we will write get element by ID. Okay, so the ID of heading is ID, I will write H. Okay, ID must be unique because we can target several things in it. H dot inner HTML, I just want its inner HTML. Okay, so I have taken this one in this one, and inner HTML in this case is hello world, and I just want to pop up the inner HTML in this. Okay, now I am going to refresh the page and let's see what's happened. So you can say the inner HTML, the inner HTML of the ID hello world has been taken by this pop-up. So this is the initial concept of JavaScript, the concept of values, the concept of inner HTML. In the next video we'll explore the more concept. Do practice this session, and we will meet in the next section. So do subscribe my channel, do like my video,